Can you believe we're back?
Here we are.
Here we are, and we're on video, so you can see our shining faces.
No
We're
makeup.
on YouTube.
Look at that shine.
We're on Patreon if you want to get video content because you just can't get enough of
And
us.
Patreon gets it before the YouTubes does, so
They sure do. They sure
inner
do.
circle
Welcome
shit.
back.
Welcome back.
Listen, we're thrilled to be here. This is like our in-betweener episode. I think we
Our
say that
message
in
from
the
the
episode.
hiatus. Yeah,
A
we do.
message from hiatus. Well, we just wanted to
Because we
pop
missed you.
on and we just wanted to pop on to say hi, do a little check in, just because we do spend a good chunk of the beginning of this episode talking about the mass shooting that recently happened in Texas.
It comes up a
And
lot. We
it comes up
really
a
are
lot.
unpack it. Yeah.
So if that is triggering for you, if that is activating to you in any sort of way,
No
click
problem, baby.
out.
Come back next
Or
week.
like fast forward,
Or fast
we
forward.
stop
Yeah.
talking about it. You know what? We'll put a timestamp in the show notes of when we stop talking about it. Because
I
I
do
don't
want to
think that
say I
we
reference it later on, but we don't really like unpack the details of it the same way that we do just in the beginning.
okay, okay, okay. So check
Yeah.
the show notes.
Check the
Check the
show
show
notes.
notes if you would like to listen to the rest of the episode. But we just wanted to do a check-in and say hi.
And say hi, tell you that whatever you're feeling is valid. Tell you that we hope you're giving yourself the space to move through and express and feel those feelings. Coming from someone who has personally been through a mass shooting previously, if you have too, or, if this is activating to you in any way, I fucking see you and I fucking feel you. That's all we want to say. And we also just wanted to take a second to shout out some awesome organizations that are doing great work. Like if you just I know people are always like, donate, 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 and that doesn't always feel accessible. So if you want to just learn more about next steps and
Mhm.
educate yourself about gun safety and legislation and what's going on, I think that's also such an awesome way to be an advocate is just through education and starting conversations with your friends and family. So whether you want to donate or volunteer or just learn, Everytown and Brady United are the two main organizations that I usually go to for resources and access and information. Everytown kind of being the one most on the front lines.
Mhm.
But so we just wanted to kind of offer that space for you if you need anything. We're right here with if you can't hear it in our voice and see it in our faces, just know we are right here with you.
We sure are. Okay.
One step at a
That's the
time.
intro.
That's it. That's it. And positive reframe into the
Great.
episode.
Into the episode we go. Okay,
Love you
bye.
guys. Can't wait to see you next week for our season 2 launch. The
Mm.
official. It's gonna be a
Thrilling.
good one.
Could cry, but I
We'll give
won't.
you a hint, it's a man. What? Starting season 2 with a man? Yeah, I know we
No
did.
one knows what's happening.
No one
No
knows.
one knows what's happening. Goodbye.
Just kidding, bye.
Enjoy the episode.
I literally just realized that all my windows are
Yeah, there's
open.
construction going on next door. I sat on the couch and I turned on the camera and I was like, this is just the most like it just looked sad. It was dark.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
this isn't comfortable. I need to get a good setup in the office.
and you're also like, "The state of the world is sad.
Yeah,
I
I
don't need to
was
be in a dark room. I need to be by some natural light."
right. So if you hear
Mhm,
construction in the
yeah,
background, you can suck my dick because it's giving me serotonin. Being in the
suck my
light.
vulva. Actually, you know what? We're gonna speaking of coping, I watched that new Netflix movie, Senior Year. Have you seen the
I
trailer for
have
that?
not.
It's the comedy with what's her name? Well, there's some girl in it that yells, "Suck my vulva," and I thought that was funny.
Listen, you gotta laugh.
Cute. Okay, you know what? I firmly stand by humor as coping, especially in grief. I actually was talking about, our mutual friend Jesse
Mhm.
connected me with a friend of mine, Jason, who's incredible, and I'm gonna link he has a self-help book I'm gonna link in the resources below because he's awesome. But we were talking about how he was kind of the first one in life coaching space to bring humor into coping and self-help work and, like, kind of facetious humor like you and I
Mhm.
like. And I was like, "Yeah, because when you've been through the real shit, like when my dad died at 17, my first like real big grief moment, the the second he passed, because I watched it happen, my mom, sister, and I looked at each other and started laughing. Because we just got like filled with light and I saw the color yellow and my chest felt warm and open. And you just laugh like there's nothing to do but be like, this is so sad. We just have to laugh and make it through
Yeah,
it.
seriously.
I think that's how I'm feeling. So we're recording this the day after the Texas mass shooting of right now 18 children and 2 teachers. And it was also that was yesterday. The day before yesterday was the 6-year anniversary of the school shooting that I went through and experienced, which I don't even think we've talked about on the podcast, have
I
we?
don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm not gonna go into it, but contextually, I was a sophomore at UC Santa Barbara in 2014 when there was it's I don't know how to say this without describing violence, so I'm sorry if you are not in a space to hear triggering words right now, just fast forward. But it's a school shooting, but he also stabbed people. He like stabbed people and shot people.
Jesus
So it
Christ.
feels weird to call it a school shooting when half the people weren't killed that way. It's just bizarre. And I had just recently one of the girls that passed away was at my house, the week before. It was just I was working at the counseling and psychological services, so we were in charge of, like, putting on the school funeral. My boss, one of my best friends I've made 4 of my best friends into my entire life coming out of that job. My boss at that job that literally rebuilt the community was, like, in charge of rebuilding the community after this mass shooting. Do you remember the shooting in San Bernardino at that
Yeah.
bar, at that, like, country
Yeah.
bar? Lost her brother in that. So she had rebuilt the entire community of Santa Barbara, and then 2 years later, experienced another one and lost her fucking brother.
It's like, my energy is so depleted and low right now, and, like, I keep seeing all these things, obviously people on social, posting 101 things, and I keep seeing all these things of, like, but let's get to the root of it, right? Like there's a mental health crisis in this country. Yes, there's a mental health crisis in this
That
country, and there's also a gun crisis in this country. And I hear you. You want to
yes.
get to the root of it. We all want to get to the root of it. But why are we making guns as fucking accessible as candy? Like at the bare minimum, a background check, at the bare minimum, doing like a psychological evaluation. Fine, you want to check on mental health and like you want to buy a gun, you do a psych eval.
And also, like, when no one you're right, no one wants to fix the issue at hand, mental health issues. So when no one wants to fix it in general, and the only time you're ever willing to act like you're gonna
Mhm.
present a solution, because nothing ever happens, but the only time we're ever willing to act like these issues are real or post a shooting, you are so further stigmatizing mentally ill people as violent when they are more significant. I wanna say like 4 times, but I don't remember the statistic, and I don't want people to come
Yeah.
for me, but they are significantly more likely to be the victim of a fucking crime. Like, it's so the wrong time to talk about mental health. You are hurting that conversation so much.
Yeah.
While sure, these people can be mentally ill, you have to look at someone's brain health if you're willing to kill someone. But the fucking issue is guns. Stop distracting from that issue. Like every other country has figured this out. And I'm
They're
not
like,
saying
guns don't grow legs." I saw that today on
it,
Instagram.
oh my God. I saw multiple people are commenting. You know, my TikTok has like 20,000 views right now.
No, I didn't know that.
I d I have, like, not a following on TikTok at all, I'm not used to it, but so people are fighting in my comments a little bit, and they're saying, I saw a couple things, like, one was the whole, "We should arm teachers," and I was like
Oh, so the solution is just add more guns. Right, 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 right. Got it. Got it. Noted.
and then the other one, people are like, "It's not the time to talk about guns, like, these bodies aren't even cold yet, blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, "Okay, so when's the time to talk about it if a school shooting happens every single day?
Like, when does it feel comfy for you?
So when are we gonna bring it up? When does that this become a convenient time to talk about this for
Because I
you?"
guarantee you
Because I've had 6 years to process my shooting, and guess what? They still happen every year, and it's still getting brought up every year. So when am I allowed to bring this up
mhm,
then?
and not to speak on those families, but I guarantee that those families aren't sitting there being like, "Guys, now's not the
You know
time."
what's one of the most powerful things in the
Mm,
world? So at the funeral we did for our school shooting, we all chanted "Not one more," like not one
mhm.
more person dies by gun violence. The fucking one of the victims' father and the father of the kid that did the mass shooting work are now co-founders of a fucking gun reform activist
That's
group.
incredible.
Can you believe that? Ugh, gives me chills. Anyway, I wanna move on from that because I've already been feeling some type of way and had to process and whatever.
It's just hard, and if you're feeling some type of way too, we hear you, we're with you. Um, let's do our part. It when things like this happen, I don't it makes me so half of me becomes so cynical, right? Where it's like realistically, it's like what the fuck can I do right now? Like yes, you can donate to families, you can, register to vote, but it's like realistically there's like 50 people in the fucking Senate that are just sitting there.
Deadass.
and not doing anything about it.
Did you see what Chris Clemens posted? I fucking love him. You see what he fucking
No.
posted? He posted top Republican senators and how much money they've donated to the NRA, and they're the same ones that are, like,
Oh, yeah,
sitting on
thoughts and
that
prayers,
one
thoughts and
bill.
prayers, thoughts
There's,
and
like,
prayers.
what of them? 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 of them that won't vote on this bill that's just been sitting there waiting to be passed for more
Mhm.
reform laws.
Anyway, we're with you. Um, if you're feeling
Yeah.
really fucking depleted. Anyway, smooth
Beautiful
transition.
transition into
I literally have a stress ball in my hand right now.
yeah, exactly. I'm, like, wrapped in a blanket. Gabby has a stress ball. Okay, well, this
I'm, like,
does lead us
sweating.
to something we wanted to talk about because we literally brought it up on the phone the day before the shooting happened, so this is funny, about the difference between venting and working through something.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we
Oh,
were
yeah,
talking
because
what
I
was the
said that
context of that?
because Meadow called me or we were talking on the phone, and you've been stressy pants lately for good reason. Are
Sorry. I just knocked
you
over
okay?
an entire yes. I'm so sorry, my startle reflex. I just knocked over just, like, an entire jar of pens that's just sitting next to
Okay,
my
I
desk,
thought it
you know
was
what I
water.
mean?
Is Mahal fine? Okay.
She's fine, she just got scared. Sorry, keep going.
Mm.
I'm
That
picking up
so
real quick.
anyway, Meadow called me and
Please.
we were talking about how she's been really stressed lately because she's had a lot on her plate. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this for you
Okay.
so that I can be the one that people get mad at, if anything,
Okay.
because I'm fine with it. If you don't know someone, how do I say this without sounding like a giant cunt?
I have no
If you
idea where
don't
you're
know
going.
someone, it's like, it's not on that stranger to like hold your emotions in their hands.
Mm,
And, like, I know that, we're choosing to have a podcast like this, and we're choosing to hold space for people and build community, and I'm all about that because that's the fucking point of it all. That said, when you, without warning and without consent, just, like, dump your
mhm,
trauma on somebody, it's really inappropriate, especially when they're probably going through something as well, like we all are. And Meadow has had a lot of people, like you're now in a position where you're working with some incredible brands, you're doing big things, but you're also getting more visibility because of it. And
mm,
because of that, people are sort of coming for you a little bit more in
mm.
the like, I need you.
Oh, yeah.
Meadow's one human being.
Yeah.
Being
Thanks.
who's got her own shit. And it
Thanks, babe.
like it frustrates me for you. And I just like every time I feel you in that space, I just like, vibrationally send you my like
I know,
light.
I feel it when you do that. It's
But yeah, so
appreciated.
that's what we were talking about. And Meadow mid vent was like, I don't wanna talk about it anymore because I just don't wanna like you were like, I don't want to talk about like all the negative that's happening or something. And then I asked you, I was like, well, what's the difference between venting and letting it out? Because if venting, like you said, is technically bad, or like I want you to explain that further of like reinforcing a weird narrative,
Exactly.
then like what's the difference between that and then like releasing something? So can you expand?
Yeah, I was saying how I feel, and I've seen in the research, honestly, that venting just to vent, like when you come home from the day and call your best friend and are like, ah, like Jerry at work ate my fucking strawberry yogurt again. Like when you just like do that type of shit over and over and you think it feels good and you're like getting it out, you're not because you're actually only reaffirming it's like self-confirmation bias. Like you're reconfirming your own narratives of the negative thing that's happening to you over and over and having someone else do it back to you and just hold this mirror in your
Mm,
own fucking self-pity versus like actually acknowledging the feeling of something that's going on, but removing your attachment to the narrative behind it like, of this "woe is me," you know what I mean? So it's, like, the difference between,
yeah.
like, approaching it with the perspective to work through it versus to, like, self-confirm your own fucking shitty life.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
also,
yeah,
hold on,
yeah,
Mahal's
yeah.
eating a pen now, I gotta fucking pick this shit up, sorry. Pause.
Yeah.
God damn it, Mahal. I love you, stop.
And we're back. You know that I realized, side note, that we didn't even say
Oh,
like,
no.
"Hey guys, we're back."
Oh, welcome back. Yeah, did you miss us? We're the exact
Yeah.
same,
Welcome back.
except real different.
Welcome back. I mean, this is technically like a trait. Like it's not. It's like our in-betweener. We didn't wanna, like, just harsh segue into season 2.
Yeah.
This is like our
Message from the hiatus.
we know we told you that we'd be launching in May, and our first episode isn't coming out until June, so this is us saying we put out an episode in May.
Sorry. But we really are gonna launch, like, right in June, so, like, it wasn't too much.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Also, like, this timing is so fucking full circle for us because even though we didn't launch this till October, our first episode ever was recorded May of last year, unpacking your birthday, and we literally
God,
just spent your
can
birthday
I
together,
just
so that
can I just tell
the
you
moment.
yeah, the moment's wild. Can I just tell you that, like
Yeah, let's bring some positive energy in. Let's talk about your
but can I
birthday.
just talk about how, like, the first episode that we ever recorded, like, I'm so embarrassed by like, you know how things in retrospect just become so cringe? Like, I'm so
Really?
embarrassed by that episode
Yeah.
just because I was such a whiny little bitch, and, like, it's like you know what I think it is too, is, like, that is one of the episodes that I think I overshared the most, and I
Mm.
was in a place of
You
genuine
learned your
yeah,
limits,
and
episode
I was, like,
1?
in a place of genuine anger and, like, annoyance. Like, I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
from a wound, not a scab, you know?
Yes, yes, you
Circle
were.
back to our episode of
Yeah.
Jesse Israel if you wanna
Which
figure
is
out where that's from.
still exactly.
What were you gonna say?
Which is not, like, it's not to say it's morally, like, bad of you to do, but it's just it's a more activated place to
Mhm.
communicate
And I've
from.
had people be like
Mhm.
and, like, people in, like, my romantic life be like, "Oh, I
Mm.
listened to your podcast," and they listened to the first episode, and I'm like, "Oh my
Oh.
god, so you just listened to me talk about my ex-boyfriend for an hour and a half?" Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it.
We should, like, re-upload it with a new disclaimer that's like, "If you are actively pursuing Gabby, please proceed to episode 2."
You currently preside on her roster. Exit now.
But also, I love that just going back to your birthday again, because I just realized that your balloons are still
Oh,
behind
my
you.
balloons are literally still behind me. My birthday was 2 weeks ago.
They're still yeah, they're
They're still
cute.
floating.
They're
I'm gonna
still
keep them there until they're,
floating.
deflated. My birthday was
Yeah,
great, okay? Let's talk about it real fast. It was a really full circle
real
moment.
fast.
I have never in my entire 26 years of existence felt such genuine, like, love from the people around me. I made this whole Instagram caption about it, so, like, follow me on Instagram if you wanna see it.
She cried.
I cried so many times.
I didn't see it though, so we don't know if it
Guys,
actually
I started
happened.
crying.
Wait, tell that story
I
real quick.
started crying at the dinner table, like, on my birthday dinner, and I literally had tears streaming down my face, and mid-tear, I would literally to the person next to me, I was like, "Someone tell Meadow that I'm crying." I was like,
No
"Tell
one told me.
Meadow." She was on the other side
I
of the
looked over and
table.
was like, "Ah, she's busy. She's talking to someone else on the other side of the table. Leave her
No, I'm
alone."
crying.
I was like, "No, I needed to
No,
see
I'm
it."
crying.
So,
Um,
who knows if it
I
happened.
just I wrote this whole caption about it, and it's genuinely, I think, encapsulates, the way that I was feeling, and I, over the past, year, have felt such deep gratitude for where I am in my life and for the people in my life. Like, I literally cannot believe that this is my life, and normally, I feel like when I would say things like that, I would put it in a context of, like, work, of like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is my life." But no, it's like, when I say I can't believe this is my life, I can't believe that I wake up every morning in the city that I've been wanting to live in since I was a kid, surrounded by a beautiful place that I'm making a home that feels like me, and then surrounded by people who, like, genuinely allow me to show up authentically as who I am and love me for it. And I never really take the time. Like, I take the time to, like, be grateful for things, but it's very, I found, uncomfortable for me to accept the fact that other people are grateful for me. And I don't know if that's
Mhm.
just a discomfort with receiving love, which we all know I'm weird about. But
You're getting so much better though. You cuddle us and hold our hands
I
now, and
know,
you cry in our arms. Like, it was
I
so
know,
cute.
I'm getting better. But
Keep going though, sorry.
th- I don't know if it's that. I think the discomfort stemmed from the fact that accepting the fact that other people were grateful for me kind of felt like a lie, because I never in the past
Mm,
saw myself as someone that
'cause your
Mhm,
self-worth deep down wasn't aligned to that
mhm.
kind of, like, reception of
Yeah,
love,
and I
yeah.
really never in a million years, if you would have asked me when I was 22, if I would have ever been to a place where I'm at now, where, like, I have such genuine admiration and love for myself, I literally would have never believed you. And I've never been happier. Every time I say that sentence, I think of the Euphoria thing, which is like, "And I've never been happier my whole entire life." But that's literally how I feel, which is also interesting. So my birthday was beautiful. Thank you so much. You wish me happy birthday. But And, like, I
It
was
was the
just so grateful to
best.
Meadow and all of, like, my beautiful friends that were just made me feel so fucking taken care of. Like, that's just at the end of the day what it was. It
It
was
was
like
really
you
Maddie. Shout out Maddie. She took care of
Maddie
everything
just
because I was
fucking
working.
slayed, but so did you,
Maddie
so
took
did
care of
you.
it all. Yeah.
And, like,
Thank
I felt so fucking taken care of, and it was the first year on my birthday that I wasn't stressed, and I wasn't stressed because
yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, I had, like, little moments, but it was because I knew that if
But not really though.
whatever plan that I had come up with, if that were to have failed, there would have been, like, 10 people right behind me, like, being like, "Great, here's plan B. Here's plan C, here's plan D." You know what I mean? Like, it
Right.
would have been
Right.
planned
Exactly.
out for me in a
Yeah.
way that, like, was genuinely cared and, like, thoughtful.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
I had the same exact realization for myself on your birthday because I just have to do everything that
Yeah,
you do, and I'm codependent, but also when we went home from your birthday dinner and it was like me and then you and Maddie, like my newest best friends, and then Sarah Shakui and Riley Nelson, like 2 of my oldest best friends, and it was just the 5 of us. I lost my fucking heart,
that must have
Gabby,
been wild for
exploded
you,
into a
yeah.
million pieces. I was just like, "I love," and then and then Maddie was the one that made a whole speech about how we're in each other's lives forever, and I was like, "This is too much for me. I can't handle it, it makes me cry."
It's really I don't know, it really makes me happy, and also, like,
Our friend group is nut like, your dinner, every single I love every single girl at that table
so
so
much.
fiercely.
But you know what? And you know what I
Yeah.
wanna say that, we plan to talk about this later, but I just my heart is telling me to talk about it now. But it
Mhm.
it reinforced the narrative of I want to lead with more softness and kindness and allow
Yeah,
people to
that
take care of
yep.
me more. And
How long have you been fucking talking about that
I know.
shit?
And before I think
You're
it used
doing
to make
it.
me
You're
feel
living
weak.
in
And
it.
we were talking about this, how like I was talking with a friend recently about my position in relationships and romantic relationships and about how
Mm,
normally I like I've never experienced a romantic relationship in which I was able to comfortably exist in my feminine energy. And I think, during the day I exist so much in my masculine with work and all of that sort of
mm,
thing. And I like that. Like I like that sort of dominance
mhm.
and that sort of aggression when it comes to my work life. But then when it comes to my personal life, like especially romantic relationships, like I really want to be with someone who allows me to just fucking like shut off. Do you know what I mean? And just be
Oh,
and
I'm such
exist.
a noodle in Aaron's
And like
arms.
I feel like
Yes,
I'm
I
very
understand.
traditional in
Yeah,
those ways too, where it's like I want
yeah.
and in my situation, like the man, I want them to and I feel like this can apply in any type of relationship as well, just because masculine and feminine energies aren't dependent on your
Associated
with your
with
gender
gender
identity.
identity. Yeah.
So, I just prefer for my partner to be more in their masculine in the sense of, like, they plan shit, they take care of things, like, I come home and, like, there's, like, I don't wanna make a fucking decision. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't wanna be the planner, like,
Yeah.
I'm the planner in everything else in my life, I just wanna just be and, like, be soft and, like, the only time I realized it when I was talking about it with my friend, I was like, the only time that I've ever been in a relationship where my partner was really hyper masculine. It was also super verbally and emotionally abusive. So it didn't allow me to be comfortable in my feminine because I felt like I had to defend myself. So I was counteracting the aggression with aggression and living in my
Mhm,
masculine and being
mhm.
like super
And
aggro.
that past side of you, we love and thank her for
Totally.
protecting you and getting
But
us
I'm
through
over
that, but
it.
then we can honor her and then
I
release it
wanna
and go
just be like a
forward.
soft little bitch in relationships, like, is that
Yeah.
the dynamic that you and Aaron have?
No one all he does is talk about the way I look at him, like, he comes home and I'm just like
You're
this.
literally Mahal.
Like, I'm literally Mahal is to me what I am to Aaron. That's it. Like, I'm obsessed with him. I'd like to be by his side at all times. I'm like you though, like, I'm like, "You don't even need to talk to me." Well, no, that's a lie because he'll sit next to me and, like, play on his phone or watch his own YouTube video, and I'll watch my own next to me, and sometimes I'm like, "You wanna do a puzzle
Mhm.
together?" And he's like he's very happy just being side by side, but so am I.
Yeah.
I'm fucking obsessed with him, dude. But also, it reminds me when you were talking, I was like, I will just not stop listening to FKA Twigs' Capri songs, like, I'm obsessed with the entire album, start to finish. But that line when she goes, what did she say? "I'm a boss in real life, do I really have to boss in the sheets?"
Like, fuck, and, like
It's just It's kinda true, like, when women are bossy in real life, like, sometimes we wanna lean into that feminine energy at the end of the day and be like, "Nope, take care of me."
Literally just take it like, I don't know, and I think right now, like, I'm in a place because we know there's a couple people listening that are curious about my sex life relationship.
A couple?
Every time I see
We
those
all are.
memes that are
On
like
that edge of our
when it's
seat.
like the one single friend that's like out of her fucking mind, like, and then the rest of the friends are in relationships, and it's just I'm entertaining all of you in the corner like a fucking clown. Like that's literally my life these
Did
days.
I not send you that TikTok the other day? It was, like, a guy walking out the street, and it was, like, me on my way to have my sexcapade so all my coupled up friends can, like, live through me or
Yeah, I think I
whatever.
sent it right back to you without realizing that you sent it to me first
Yeah,
because that's literally me and
we
it's
probably did.
truly so fun.
It's so
It's
fun. We all
God, I'm
love it.
having so much fun. But here's the thing, if I would
Yeah.
not push a relationship away and if the right situation came around, then I would be
Mhm.
fine releasing that because I'm having a blast. So I'm not gonna like
Right.
stop for something
But
fucking
you're also
mediocre.
exactly,
But
exactly.
I
That's, like,
welcome
the best place to be in. You're welcoming any experience, but you're, like, not chasing down anything
I'm
either.
really living
That's the
for
best
doing
place
what's
to be
making
in.
me happy in that exact current moment
Yeah,
and doing what feels
that's
good to
such
me.
good energy for you. That's exactly what you were saying 1 year ago to the fucking day that you wanted to do more
Do you
of.
know what's interesting though?
All last summer, we spent unpacking you wanting to have more
Mhm.
fun, and
Oh
your
my
life
god.
is literally about pleasure and fun
It's been
now.
so, literally so much pleasure and fun. But do you know
So
what I want to
good.
talk about though that I feel like I don't know, I feel like we don't talk about this often. The
Mm.
weird dichotomy and duality between the fact that you can be in the happiest place that you've ever been in and simultaneously also have moments of like true spiral
I that's
because
literally
that's been
that
happening to me.
dichotomy is explains my mental health every day.
'Cause it's pretty
What do
wild,
you
and I feel like people have this, like, misconception that, like, when people are like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy in life," that, like, they're genuinely amazing. Like, I have never been happier in my entire life, and if you would've, checked in with me, like, 2 weeks ago, I was going through this, like, I get very, very obsessive. Guys, this is why I can't have a crush on people. It's why. Crushes make
Yeah.
me genuinely
Crushes
no,
crush
no, no.
you.
Crushes make me, like, the most unhinged version
Yeah,
of myself. And the thing is,
yeah,
like, nobody knows except for, like, you and Maddie. Do you know what I mean? Like, my crush doesn't
yeah,
know, other people don't know, like, they think I'm so cool, calm, and collected. I'm a fucking
yeah.
psychopath when I have a crush on someone, and they
You're
don't
a
know.
simp.
And,
Yeah,
like, because they
yeah,
don't know and because I don't express it, it's like all I just have all this pent up energy, and I'm just sitting in my house, like, fucking spiraling. It's not okay.
yeah,
I can't, like, I can't have crushes
yeah,
on people. It's not good for me,
yeah.
but I love it so
I feel
much.
the exact same way as you, but it has nothing to do with my love life. It just has to do with, like, I've literally I made a joke about this on TikTok, like, I swear to God, the day Mercury went into retrograde, and I was always one of those girls that was like, "I fuck with the stars, I'm a witch, I get it," but, like, the Mercury in retrograde shit is so overhyped, like, grow up, take accountability.
Mhm.
I swear to fucking God, the day this shit happened, my life has spiraled. Now both our cars don't work anymore. We had a death in the
You and
family.
Aaron, yeah.
We had, like, we had so much shit fucking come up all at like, it's just it's, the past 2.5 weeks have been the worst 2.5 weeks of 2022
Yeah,
for me,
bitch.
but I am so happy about my life, where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm looking forward to. Like, in the big picture, I'm doing great. I'm so happy if anyone asked. I'm so content with where I am and so happy with what I have and so grateful for everything and so excited about things that I'm working on. But the past 2.5 weeks have been a fucking
Yeah,
spiral.
bitch, you've been going through it, but you know what? Isn't that
I've been going
yeah, poor
through
Meadow, like, literally, I'll get a text
it.
from her and I'll be like,
I'm in a spiral
Not
every
again,
day to
not
Gaby.
again, not again." Like, your past couple weeks have been fucking crazy, and here's the thing, but all this to say that how great and amazing that this is just a plea for people who are not wanting to better their lives and better themselves. Because, yes,
Yes.
shit's still going to hit the fan. Did I just get British?
The
The
fan.
fan.
Hit the fan.
Alright.
Shout out Mimi,
Literally.
our UK girly.
You're making me British.
She's we listen to her voice enough,
Literally, she
yeah.
has the coolest
Keep
voice.
going. It's a
What
joke.
was I saying? What was I saying? All this to say that how cool or not cool, but what a testament to the work that you've done on yourself because
It is
shit is
cool.
going to inevitably hit the fan. So why not
That's what
have
life
a
is.
beautiful foundation so that when it does hit the fan, you are mentally capable of taking care of it.
Okay, so I literally you are fucking Alan Watts because I last night to cope with the fucking mass shooting, I watched a video. It's called After School on YouTube, and it's when when people will like draw and animate a lecture that someone
Yeah.
is saying,
Oh my god, I love videos like that.
like a
Mhm.
separate person. Right? Okay, so it was one of those on Alan Watts, and it was called How to Keep Your Heart Open in Hell. And it was beautiful. It's kind of triggering. If anyone watches it, please like know that parts are gonna be triggering, but commit to the very end because it really ties it's like 13
Mhm.
minutes, really ties everything together. But the whole point of everything is like life is always like anarchy and chaos and sadness and racism and mash like light that always, always, always exists. But so does the light, and so does the foundation, and so does the hope, and so does this like working on yourself. It's like the whole yin and yang
Right.
concept. And so it's like we're since we're all connected, we're all living things on this earth are connected beings. We're all experiencing all those things. So you have to make the intentional space to feel your range of like I am sad literally all the time. Why? Because people are fucking killing themselves every 37 seconds, because mass shootings are happening, because systemic racism is like I can feel those things all at the same time by like looking at a flower bloom or my fucking
Mhm.
puppy or you and I having a beautiful dinner and feel the most love and like that's always going to exist all the time. So it's about making space to feel all those emotions and honor every side of you, but then choosing to live in that fucking ore and choosing to live in that light. Cause the other options are those other, you can't, it's always going to
Mhm.
exist all the time. That's what life is. We've been here before, we'll be here again. That's literally what life is. So you got to just have the tools and the skill, like you're saying, like that toolbox of coping and working on yourself in the background to make it through it because it's not going to
Not
change.
gonna
This is
change.
it, baby. The journey is the destination.
Exactly.
This is
Things
it.
are gonna continue to happen.
How you live every day is how you live your life. That's all I'm saying.
Bars. Bars.
Isn't that a good one? Ever since I don't know who said that, but how you live every day is how you live your life. I'll walk around sometimes if I'm having a good day and be like, this is fucking right. Like the days that I do nothing and I'm like just in a flow all
Yeah.
day, even if that's like a puzzle or like bananagrams with Aaron and then walking my dog and then getting a good I'm like, these are the days that you actually look back on. Those like days that you just like
Fuck,
flow in that
this is
happiness, you
this
know?
is why I need a boyfriend. Because of what you just said.
Okay.
Because, let me tell you, I saw this thing on
I gotta say, being in love makes this whole thing so much
no,
easier. I'm so
not
sorry to
even
say that.
that.
Keep
It's
going.
it's so funny that, like, my reason for saying that isn't even sweet. It's not even sentimental. It's legitimately because my screen time has gone up so fucking
Oh,
much lately. I
yeah.
saw this thing on I don't know if it
Yeah,
was,
I
like,
feel that.
Instagram or
Me too.
TikTok that was, like, the fact that, like, we literally jump from social media platform to social media platform in order to literally not think, and I see myself do it. I'm
Feel
on the
or think.
computer all
Yeah.
fucking day for work, looking at a screen. I'm either talking to someone
Yep.
on a screen, or I'm writing, or I'm answering emails, or
Yep.
I'm on my
Right.
phone looking at Instagram or
Decompressing,
TikTok,
watching Netflix.
whatever,
Yep.
or I'm watching TV. And then if I'm not, I'm
Yeah.
reading a book, but I'm still like my eyes are still like activated doing
I
something
honest
in
Yep.
like taking in
Yep.
information instead of just like
All day.
being
Constant.
bored or like sitting outside. Like yesterday, I sat on
Yeah.
my balcony without my phone, without a book, and I just like fucking stared outside and I was like, wow, nature.
Yes.
Because
God, I love your balcony for that. I do that. I woke up early and did that
it's
when you
so
were
nice. And this
when
is
we were
why
I
I
slept
said
over
I
on your
need a
birthday.
boyfriend, is
It's so
like
nice.
not even because it's sweet, because I literally am like, my screen time is so high. Like, I need somebody, I need some other person in my
To
physical
talk
space to
to?
fucking talk to, like in real life,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
to
it's
like play
true. It makes a world
bananagrams
of
with.
difference. It's so much
Who wants to
fun.
date me?
Sometimes we'll wake up and not talk to each other and play bananagrams or chess. I got that chess set, that beautiful chess set from Fig
Hmm. Who wants, yeah,
that you
yeah, who
introduced
wants
me
to
to.
date me?
Yeah, who wants
Applications.
to date Gabby?
We're taking applications.
Submit your applications through me, though. I'm vetting everyone. If you don't go through me, your resume and cover letter will not be considered.
The
I'd pick
way
you
that
someone
that
so
is
good.
so
If
true.
you how much money would it cost for you to let me do an arranged marriage of my choice?
Like,
Like, what would the
I
number
would
be?
just
Like,
need
a couple
you I would
million?
just need you to, like, deeply commit to it, because sometimes I love you to death, but sometimes you have so many
I see the good in
you
people
just have
that
so many, like,
don't
fun
deserve it.
ideas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh my god, this. Oh my god, this. Oh my god,
I
this."
know exactly what
Like,
you
you
mean.
literally are
I know
you're
exactly what
literally,
you mean.
like,
Yeah.
the human manifestation of, like, the squirrel that's just, like, looking around everywhere, like, at 100 different things. And so I feel like I would deeply trust you and allow you
That's
to put
true.
me in an arranged marriage if you genuinely committed the
But
time to
commit to it.
not
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. It would take a few years. It would take a long
I would
time,
trust
yeah.
you. There's not many people I would.
But, like, so what's the
I
I
don't think
know.
there's a I
So
mean,
what's that number? Like, when we get a $150 million Spotify deal, then we'll do it.
sure. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know. But listen, I feel like you'd not be bad at it. You know me very well.
I feel like I'd not be bad at it either. I would definitely I would definitely go the, like have you ever watched Indian Matchmaker where she also considers astrology, and then she considers this and all this different where that, like, I'm kind
Okay,
of
you of course you gotta consider my chart, you dumb
well,
bitch. Hello.
no, there's so many that's what I
Hello.
mean, it'd take a lot of
Okay, so like who
research,
would you pick? Wait,
but I'm
this is
willing
a
to
fun
commit to
game.
the
This is a fun
idea.
game. If Meadow were to put me in an arranged marriage, what would they be like?
Right now? Well, that's what would they be like in
Mhm.
general? I don't wanna say because it might be describing a combination of people on your roster.
But isn't that the beauty of a roster? See, okay, here's the thing. God,
Yeah,
I need to stop referencing TikTok, but I'm gonna reference TikTok one more time. There was this girl that
or do
posted
it
a
again.
video and she was like,
I'm TikTok famous
yeah,
today,
she
so
was like, there's she goes, "It's so funny when men think that I'm asking them to be my boyfriend and want them to be my boyfriend just because I'm asking them to plan nice things for me and do nice things for me and emotionally hold me. No, I want multiple men to be doing nice things for
to
me,
emotionally
planning
hold
things,
me.
emotionally holding
Yes,
me. Making
yeah,
you my boyfriend would mean that I
yes,
only want you to be doing that. And
yes.
frankly, that is the way that I've been feeling lately. And that I think is the
That
beauty.
it's you sent that to me and I lost my
That is the
mind.
beauty
Yeah.
of a roster. Case in point. That
Yeah,
is
it
the
is.
beauty
That
that is the
truly is the
beauty
beauty
of
of
a
a
roster
roster.
because the roster is filled. You're not filling the roster. Here's okay. We're going to talk really quickly about the way to make a proper roster. You're not filling the roster
Wow, I love this. We haven't breaking this down yet. Yeah.
breaking,
Breaking.
broken.
It's been a long
Yeah.
2 days. It's
We're
Wednesday.
going to we're going to break
Yeah.
down the way to make a golden roster. It's going to be controversial, I'm sure. You don't want
Like
you
everything
don't
is,
want
let
the
me see.
same type of person over and over again on the roster because
No.
that's not
No,
fun.
no,
Then
no,
you
no,
just find a
no.
boyfriend or find a partner. Okay.
It's about
It's about
diversification.
diversification. All people are welcome.
Is that a real
Maybe.
word?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's about diversification, right? You want people that bring, because no perfect human exists. So why not create your own with a couple? Do you know what I mean? So you bring together people that have all of the ideal qualities of a partner
So true. It's
and you
so true.
mesh them into one person. So you're getting fulfilled in your life through all these various people.
Hell yeah.
That's the key. I've
As long as
heard,
you're openly communicating about it,
mhm,
which you have been, like, you've been
yes,
intentional about exactly where you're at with everyone, and as long as, like, we're all doing that, it's kind of the fucking way to be
yes.
single.
So step one is diversification is key. Step two is
Yeah.
communication because here's the thing, just because you
Yes.
are not in a relationship and just because it's a roster and it's an, an open situation or a situationship does not mean that you cannot communicate. We are all human beings, right? If we're choosing to be in any sort of fucking communication with each other, have the emotional maturity to be able to talk about it, no matter what stage you're
It's really
in.
not that
I
hard.
need, and I'm going to
It's
speak
really not
again
that
from a
hard.
straight woman's perspective. I need men, I need straight men to understand that if I approach you trying to communicate where I'm at in any situation that we are in, it is not me asking you to date me. It's not asking you to marry me. It's not asking you to be my fucking boyfriend. I'm not even asking you to plan dinner next week. It is me communicating
I'm
to
also
you.
not asking for your opinion on what
No,
you think my intention is. I'm
no.
telling you what it
If
is.
you would just
You don't need to
listen,
tell me
if
what
you
it
were to just
is.
listen,
Yeah.
you'd hear me
Mhm.
what I'm saying to you right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
I'm communicating where
Mhm.
I'm at, and then you can communicate back to me where you're at. And if they match, dope. If they don't, okay. We can go our separate ways or we can figure out a way to move forward with things that we're both comfortable with. So just because it's a roster does not mean that communication is all lost.
100%.
Doesn't need to mean that you need to be sketchy. Withhold. Honesty is not always the best policy. Let's be very honest. But
Yes. Yeah. Boundaries.
boundaries. But communication is super key. I also saw someone on TikTok talking about it's this podcast called Giggly Squad that I always freaking send you their podcast. I think it's so funny.
They're so funny.
and I can't remember
Take a
I
shot for
can't
every time Gabby says TikTok this
literally, I'm
episode.
so sorry. I can't remember
Sorry.
her name, but the brunette
Just kidding.
in the story, in the situation,
Yeah.
she was saying how the key to the roster is not putting people on the roster that you actually wanna date, and I don't agree because
I don't
I
agree
feel like my
either.
roster
I think all of them should be people you wanna
it
date.
depends where you are in your life. It
And
depends where you
then
are in your life. Because I feel like I look at the roster like the Hunger Games. You know what I mean?
oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. No. Go ahead. I mean, like, no, it should not be that
No, not that
stressful. My
not that stressful,
God.
but I'm just saying, like, let the best man win. Like, you dating me is not that easy. Getting to date me is not easy.
Right.
Calling you my boyfriend, that's gonna take some trials and tribulations. So why not let these people fucking duke it out for my honor?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I just you know what? I've never had a roster.
Of
I've been in love with 2 people at
Yeah, but
once,
that's not a
and, like
roster to me because that
but I've
sucks.
I know I've never, like, dated around and had a
This is the
roster,
first time in my life I
so
have it, and
I
it's
guess I don't actually
fucking
know.
unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe I should have done that.
That said,
Sorry,
there's
Aaron.
people on the
But
roster.
that's why I meant it's not Hunger Games though, because I don't think I do think there should always be people on the roster and it's like whoever you like develop that connection with wins, but there's gotta be like that kismet. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah,
Like
and that's a
it's not just a battle to date you. Like you have to like see someone and be like, oh, that
Oh,
you know
that
what I
but that's not what
mean?
I'm
Like it
saying.
has
That's not
to
I'm not sitting back saying, like, whoever,
okay.
fills all of this out on paper, I'll date you. No, there needs to be, like, the obviously the mutual
No,
part
no,
of it.
yeah.
But the tricky part too is, like, there's obviously gonna be people that are winning and that you have more attraction to or, like, you have whatever, and I think
Yeah.
that's where the respect and the
There's also so many teams that the friends
there's
vote
so many
for.
teams that the friends vote for. Like, if you're on someone's roster and you don't think that
Just
her friends are voting on
saying.
you, you're confused. But Mahal too. Mahal wanted you to know that she votes as well.
Literally preach, bitch. Yeah.
And this is where you need to listen to yourself because the person that I'm rooting for is not the person that my friends are rooting for. So,
That's true.
and frankly, like, they're not even really on the roster and they're still winning.
Yeah.
So,
But hey, if those are your feels, I mean, I feel like I'm always clear to you who my team is in my head, but it's also like my team at the end of the day is just whoever you want to be with, obviously. You know what I mean? So I feel like we do a good
you never
balance of that.
answered how who would be my arranged marriage.
Well, no, I said I didn't want to say because they're qualities of people that are
Oh,
currently on the roster, and I don't want to inflate their egos by talking about them on the
yeah, well, they
podcast.
don't deserve the
We don't
airtime.
support
I
men
say they don't deserve
here.
the airtime. I just spent 20
God.
minutes talking about them. It's like every single one is listening, being like, which one am
But you
I?
know what? This is also like, as you were talking about this, because obviously I'm in a relationship, so it doesn't apply to me, but I was thinking about that through a context of, like, my roster of my clients.
Listen, you got to tear them out.
And it really fucking it applies low key, like,
It applies to everything.
open
Applies to
communication,
friendships.
respect, like and, like, y'all are fucking up, you need my help. I don't need to be
Wait,
here.
talk on that really quick
I
because
have other people I can go
people have
help.
this little misconception with Meadow that just because she works in mental health, like all the companies that she's going to work with have like like pristine mental health practices. So can you expand on that,
Yeah.
please?
Well, no, like the job of a consultant is literally to first of all, you're consulting for people. So you're working with multiple people at once, which has always been abundantly clear about my role, which is funny.
Hmm.
But it's also, I should be working with people that are saying, hey, we are trying to incorporate mental health into whatever it is that we're doing. And we need help figuring out the best way to be trauma informed to destigmatizing in our process of how we see our role in incorporating it into whatever we're doing because we're not experts. So that's why we ask people that have more experience for their opinion and help and guidance.
Yes.
That's all it
Also, by the
is.
way,
And so they need me. I don't need you.
literally.
Jay-Z, anyone?
Well, here's the thing too. Like if you're going to get when people are like, "Oh, because we had some people come from Meadow that were like, how dare you work across multiple brands?" I'm sorry. Do you know what the definition of freelance is? Google
I
it.
know.
And by
That's
the
fair.
way, if you don't want her to be freelance and you want her to only work for you better be paying her enough that the to make up for the other clients that she's losing or would let go of.
Well, I've added that to my contract now. I've
Yeah.
added that. Like, if you want more of my time or exclusivity, then that's fine, but then you're gonna meet the rate that I'm getting matched with other
Mhm.
people.
Period.
No worries.
No worries.
It's funny when you were giving your disclaimer earlier about how I'm only one gal, I thought you were kind of talking about my work life, not my personal life, because that speech applied to that too,
I was talking about
in a
both.
fun
I was
way.
talking about how
Oh,
because
yeah, okay. I was just
no, yeah,
checking.
because of your exposure in your work life expanding.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Fair, fair, fair,
Mhm.
fair, 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 fair.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Well, that's all we have to say about that,
Yeah.
really. But you know what? It's fun
That was a good
about,
boundary.
like, thank you. What's fun about respecting myself more in my professional life is I'm also learning that, like, when I do that, the money shit happens so much easier because I'm showing up with that self-worth
Okay, say
piece
more, say more,
again.
say more.
Like you, like, now that your self-worth internally, subconsciously is raised to the level where your friends can tell you how fucking grateful we are for you, and you feel it to the point that you can cry because you truly embrace that. I've let go of people that will disrespect me because I honor myself so deeply that it's just so easy for me to be like, "No, no, no problem. No, thank you." And the second you do that, how much shit floods in that is more aligned, more what you want, and more, like, physically and financially stable.
Period.
It's wild. But that's the thing is, like, it doesn't take that's the whole thing about manifestation that people have this misconception with, is it's not putting on the vision board and envisioning what it feels like to make that money. It's doing the deep fucking subconscious reprogramming of my self-worth and my blocks and my trauma and my issues to get to the point where I fundamentally believe that I am worth it,
Mhm,
so that when it comes my way, I can take it.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's you there's some deep work behind this shit. I think that's one of my big things that I don't like about manifestation is people find it so spiritual and woo-woo, which it's certainly presented that way a lot of the time, so I totally understand the misconception, but it's just such a bummer because to me it's so non-denominational, like, whether you call it the universe or God or Jah or Allah, whatever you're
Mhm.
fucking comfortable saying, like, it's all the same
Right.
conceptually. Like, can we stop getting so caught up, like, language is so limited, baby. Like, why don't we realize that there's only so many words that we have to explain infinite abstract concepts? Like, rather than getting bogged down on the word, can't we just kind of, like, take a step back and, release that attachment to the words and just kind of look at what's happening? I don't know, it just blows my mind. And then what's happening is literal epigenetics, psychology, neuroplasticity, like, grounded in the science anyway. So, like, grow up and manifest. I
I
don't
literally
know, like,
kept my
do you
mouth
know what
shut
I'm
that
saying?
whole
It's just
time.
so frustrating to
I
me.
ugh, I kept my mouth shut the whole time because I was like, "This bitch is giving the best speech of her life right now."
That's my rant of the day, I guess. I'm clearly working on a
That
project
was
that's
very
manifestation
that
related,
was very
so
well said.
it's been on
That
my
was
mind.
very well said, and it's
Thanks.
very, very true, and how applicable to other areas of our life as well. If we just release the attachment to the verbiage or release the attachment to, like, getting bogged down in the details of it all, it really all is just the same shit.
I've been fucking I've been on my, like, Eckhart Tolle, Baba Ram Dass, Alan Watts shit just because I'm telling you, when I'm going through some sort of mental health thing, which I have the past 2.5 weeks, I've been saying this over and over, like, for me, it all comes down to the spiritual
Mm,
shit
mhm.
recently. Like, I'm deep in that kind of place in my life right now,
I tried to play with the tarot cards that you
hence
got
my
me.
rants. How'd it go?
Good. I mean, I need to learn. I think I was, like, doing it in bed and it was late and I was tired and I, like, was trying to understand. I'm just, like, I've been in a YouTube spiral about tarot cards
Yeah,
because
I love
here's the
it.
thing, I feel
It's
like
fun.
I've discovered a whole new world on YouTube, the tarot card world, the tarot card reading world on YouTube, and I feel like it has allowed me to not whine to you and Maddie as much because I am getting like,
Hmm,
the cycle of my confirmation bias
obsessive thinking.
through
Yeah.
these tarot people on YouTube who aren't talking back to me. So anytime I'm having
Yeah,
obsessive thoughts about
yeah,
something, I find a tarot reading for it and then I, like, play it out and it, like, is always some, like, confirmation bias shenanigans. And I'm like, great, now I
cool.
don't need to
But in
annoy
a
my friends
way
about
that
it.
But see, there's the key though, because it's confirming you in a way that you're willing to, like, let it go
Yeah.
though, right? Or are you still holding
No, no,
on to
no,
that
because it usually
confirmation then?
gives me like a
Because to me, it seems like
mhm.
yeah, it gives you
It
the,
gives me the
like,
pat
what will be, I work
no, it
through."
gives me the pat on the
Yeah.
back that I need
Oh,
of
okay.
like,
See, that's kinda cool
yeah,
then. Like, that's a
yeah,
tool.
but then sometimes I spiral with it. Sometimes I'm like really just listening too much. And then,
It's a
but the
little
thing
much.
is, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
spiraling if they weren't so accurate. They're wild.
And you're not I don't think I've never seen you, like, operate on one. Like, you're not the type of girly
No.
to be like, "Oh, my tarot card said this, so, like, I'm only dating
No,
people
no,
with
no, no,
this
no, but
letter in
that's
their name."
not
Like, you would never
no,
do
no, no,
some
no,
shit
or
like that.
timelines or things. And there's
Yeah.
things that like the reader will be
Right.
like, if this doesn't feel right for you, like this is just what's coming through, like this doesn't need to apply. You know what I mean?
Totally. There's different
Totally,
interpretations,
totally.
sure.
But I don't they've just been really accurate, and there's a couple people on YouTube that I really like, and I can't remember all their names.
You showed me that one Natasha girl that I'm
She's
now
great, but
into
then
too, but
there's
she does a
an
lot of
I
love
know, there's
ones, which
another
is
one
like
that I can't remember her name that I've been really into lately. I'll find them,
I
we'll
like
link
that
them.
ASMR tarot
Mm,
one.
but
Yeah, we'll link
there's
'em.
just the ASMR of it too, just even if they're not whispering, like the just playing with the cards, like shuffling the cards is
Yeah.
really nice.
So
I don't know,
nice.
there's just I'm talking to Anna Maria today.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm seeing her in a week? Next week. Oh, I'm so jealous. It's your 3rd time. It's gonna be my
It's my 3rd
2nd,
time,
right?
yeah. It's
3rd.
like, we
3rd
just had a
time's a
birthday,
charm.
like, why not? A little refresh.
Okay, but tell her to email us back and schedule the
I
pod.
know. Anna Maria's our, like, psychic medium queen, and we want her to come on the pod, and she wants to come on the pod, it's just whether or not.
She wants to come on the pod. She talks
We
about it a
just
lot.
gotta
We just gotta,
do it.
do the thing.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is a beautiful place to end. How are we feeling?
I feel great. I do feel better.
Me too. I feel like a
Do you
little
feel
less
better?
cloudy. I felt, like, very cloudy coming into today's conversation.
Yeah. I feel like you gave me energy to now, like, I'll go work on some
Mhm.
shit for the rest of my day
I'm
and,
gonna cook a great lunch
cross some things
and
off.
then finish work.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I'm gonna make banana bread
Yum.
today. I'm gonna
And
make
we're
chocolate
recording with a
banana bread.
really fun guest later today. We're doing a lot of talking
Yeah, we
today.
are.
But
Yeah.
oh my god, and we literally said,
Yes.
Meadow, at the beginning of this conversation before we started recording, we're like, "We're gonna talk about this in the middle." Guys, we're coming out with merch soon.
Oh, shit.
We're coming out with merch
Yeah.
soon, and we're coming out with a Patreon. So, merch is
Yeah.
launching hopefully June, July?
Don't hold us to it.
Summertime.
But yeah. We're trying to do it as quickly as humanly possible.
Mhm, okay, we're working on it. We're
Summertime.
we're actively working on it. It's gonna be
Yes,
great.
we are.
I think I think it's great. I think you guys will like it.
It's fun.
And
It's
Patreon
also without a doubt launching on Patreon first. Like, merch is going up on Patreon severely
and our
before
Patreon will be
it
live when you
goes
hear this.
live.
So,
Oh, yeah!
when you listen
Hey,
to
369
this,
damn you
go
fine.
listen.
Sorry, we honestly, I do wanna make a small disclaimer that when we originally said we wanted to do Patreon, we did genuinely think that there was a free
There's
tier
not.
and then other stuff. There's not, and the lowest you can do is $3, so we made it
Yeah, it's
$3.
$3, $6,
So,
and $9. Each tier, Meadow very
you get more
carefully fleshed
shit.
out for us, and you did a great job putting
Yeah,
things into the
baby.
tiers. I think we
Thank
have
you.
really fun content and things that we don't necessarily get to do on the podcast and different ways that we want to communicate that we think are fun on there.
And, like, community builds
Yeah.
safely. You and I have always said, this is one way to build a community, but, like, our group chat's another way. Social media is another way. We wanna do events in another way, and I think you and I also really value, like, intimate spaces to do
Mhm.
that because I think it requires, like, a certain level of, like, willing to show up and be in the place where you're willing to, like, open your mind and have a brave space and
Yeah.
listen and challenge each other and talk through if did something I say sounded, wrong or racist, and how can we explain what we mean further? Like, to come and have these conversations takes a certain level of something, and so it feels, like, safe and nice for us to have a space that feels like you have to, like, be willing to put more energy into us when we're, like, truly pouring our hearts into this stuff that we're trying to make for
Yeah.
you guys. Like, this is what we wanna do. You do
Yeah.
what I mean? Does
It
that
makes
make
total
sense?
sense. So I hope you guys check it out.
Cool.
If you don't, just go look at it. If it feels right to you, it feels like something you want to do, amazing. If it's not, and
Never put yourself in a financial
please,
hardship by any fucking
please fucking
means.
don't.
Don't do that.
Um, if
Yeah.
it's something you're into, amazing. If it's not, amazing. We'll be here all week.
Yeah. We're still here. There's still free shit always. Like,
And let us know, like,
you
what
know.
you guys, like if you sign up for the Patreon, or you're not on the Patreon and you just have things that you want to hear from us, or different ways that we can communicate with you guys, because there are fun things on the Patreon. Like there's extra content, there's going to be extra episodes, there's going to be a newsletter, which I feel like is going to be
FaceTime sessions
yeah, and
with
like the
us.
newsletter, for example, is a perfect example of something that I feel like is
Yeah.
so overdone, and we're doing it in such a fresh new way, and it's conversations that we necessarily aren't like. We wish we could have so many endless people on the podcast, and like hopefully we keep this going for years to come. But at the end of the day, like we're recording and putting out episodes once a week. There's only so much we can do, and there's only so
Mhm.
many people we can talk to, and we want to like open the floor and open the platform, have other voices come in. And so our newsletter is going to be a really fun way of us doing that. It's also going to be
To do
hopefully a
that.
good way for you guys to get to know more about Meadow and I in terms of like little things of like things that we're not necessarily going to talk about on our podcast, like favorites that we're really into that month and things we're obsessed with. And
Like, show more of our
mm,
range because 'cause we're multifaceted humans, and although, like, our intention behind this is obviously mental health, like, there's other smaller ways that we can, like, show more of our
totally.
personality in a
So
fun way
check it
too,
out.
so
If it feels right to you, we'd love to see you. If not, we totally get it. And we love you equally. And I'm really excited for season two. Season two is
that's
launching
all.
next week.
I'm so
So tune
excited!
in.
When are we posting our thing?
Our first episode?
Tomorrow?
Our first episode's
On Monday, right?
Monday, June 6th is our first real episode of season two. This was our message from Hiatus,
Welcome, we're back.
and it's launching with a really fun guest.
It is launching with a really dude, everyone we've prepped for it during our hiatus and recorded with is
I
fucking
hope you
cool.
guys
Like,
love it.
we've already hit bucket list. We've hit bucket
Mhm.
list already, season 2.
Oh my god. We'll see you next week.
Okay,
Love
love
you,
you,
bye.
bye.
Subscribe. No, you can't subscribe. What can you do on here?
Rate
Rate
and
and
review.
review. Hit download if that does anything.
Oh,
Okay.
we're on YouTube now. Watch us on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Watch us on YouTube now too.
We're gonna
Shit,
yeah,
that's
we're
another
gonna be
one.
posting all of the full length episodes. We have video coming. God, we're so bad at this, huh?
I actually halfway through this remembered that we were doing video, and I was like, oh
Yeah, me
shit.
too.
Like, I haven't even been watching my
Yeah,
face
me
or
too.
anything,
I
so
realized that.
whatever.
Okay, yeah, there's so many fun things coming. We gotta go. Love you, bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Thoughts Mayberry podcast every Monday.